Is it visible, my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So purpose of this lecture is like it may help you in for preparing for your presentation. As presentation is uh, has a huge chunk for your grading, so it may help you in this lecture, and today's and tomorrow's lecture may help you in presenting well. So I will discuss basically a few definitions and of related to approximation algorithms. Generally, I guess okay. So so how many of you are familiar with approximation algorithm? I don't think this course is floated last semester and before semester also. So let me so so NP complete problems. Uh, what what is the naive definition of NP complete problems? I'm not going in the mathematical definitions. I'm talking about the naive, like one thing we can say, we generally thinks when it comes out like these problems cannot be solved in polynomial time. Okay, so it requires something like exponential time. So this is a basically a naive definition. Like, okay, if a NP complete problem is there, then we need exponential time to solve the problem. So let me write three things related to NP complete problems. Okay, so we know that we need to solve this problem in polynomial time. Okay, and moreover, we want exact output. Okay, and third factor is like we need to solve for all instance of problem P. So so by this I mean, like, suppose given problem, we can have some scenario where the problem instance is very easy. We can solve it very quickly, but generally we want to solve it for all instances. Like, given this problem for any instance, we need to solve this thing. Okay, so out of these three, if we can perform all three, then that means that we have an algorithm for NP complete problems. So generally what happens, this is not possible unless P is equal to NP. We cannot aim for all these three things. So we need to leave out one at least, because since three things we cannot take care together, so we will try to leave one aspect out of these three and try to work it out. Like, can we design something? So obviously, leaving one of this thing has their own what you say disadvantages. So here, see, suppose if I leave this thing in polynomial time, and if I consider only these two and three, so that means what? Okay, I can solve this problem. Exact output I will get in for all instances. So this is another domain where we try to leave, where we consider only two and three, and we leave minus first what in polynomial time. So this is another aspect where via which we can tackle the problem. Another is where we study, we'll consider one and three, and we'll remove like in polynomial time we'll solve, but for all instance we'll solve, but we'll not get exact output. So we are aiming for some output which is very close to optimal, but our goal is to solve in polynomial time and for all instances. So this is another domain via which we can tackle this problem. Another is like where we will say that we will take two like we'll try to solve in polynomial time, and we want to exert output, but not for all instances. So there are only three aspects via which we can tackle NP complete problems. Okay, so generally what I am going to discuss is like this one, where we will solve problem in polynomial time. for all instances, but we'll try to get as close as to the optimal solution. So this domain is called approximation algorithm. This one. Okay. So any doubt till now, you can ask.
Excuse me, sir. Am I audible?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah, see.
Sir, is approximation algorithm the class of problems which we deal in that? Is it a subset of those NP complete problems?
No, no. Actually, NP
Sir, you're not audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
Yeah, I'm saying NP completes are problem via which we sorry, approximation algorithms are techniques via which we deal with NP complete problems.
Oh,
So I
okay.
told you, now these three aspects are very important. Like these three aspects are required. We need to solve problem. See, these problems are NP complete. Okay, so there are three aspects. These three aspects. So we cannot take all three aspects into account and it we cannot do this thing, assuming it. So we cannot take these three aspects together. We need to take out of three, two. So if you take this out of three, if you say take first and third into account, then we have to leave these two, second criteria. Take three. First of all, first you have to understand why we cannot take three. If we can take three, and if we have some, if we tackle.
So your voice is dropping a lot. There's a lot of breaks in the audio.
Network issue is there, na? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
So we need to leave one of at least one aspect. So I am leaving exit output. So what I'm saying, like I will design an algorithm for some problem P, which gives which runs in polytime and which gives me output close to optimal solution. Okay, this is the network issue there. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible now, but it keeps dropping in the middle.
It keeps dropping now. I'm in the library. I don't know where should I go now. Let me check. Okay. Hello. Is it audible now? I tried something, but hello. Mm. So so you people get the idea what is approximation algorithm? What is like what this is actually a paradigm. Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Sorry. Now actually I came to conference room. Maybe here network is better. So I'm sharing my screen again. And please feel free to ask question. I know. Okay. Hmm. So is it visible now my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what was I was telling, like, okay, there are like we have just hold a minute. So we have like this NP complete problems have their issues, like three aspects I told you. One is in polytime, in for exit output, and third aspect was for all instance. So what is there, like, so these three things is required. We know that NP complete problems are not solvable in polynomial time. So we need to, because of these three aspects. So here approximation algorithm, what it does, like, this is a paradigm where we don't consider this thing. Second aspect, we generally talk about in polynomial time and for all instances. So here, instead of exact output, we'll try to aim an output which is very close to optimal output, but not the optimal output. So this is all about approximation algorithm. It's a paradigm. Okay. If you have any doubt, then please ask. Because things will be like, I will discuss more advanced thing here. So doubt regarding anything. Okay. So suppose I will start this thing. What is suppose we are given a problem P. Okay. So, and this problem has instances. We know that there are instances for problem. So suppose I am considering now instance I, particular instance. Okay. So let me go. Let me discuss some definition of problem first. This is the basically definition of problem. So, this problem has, this instance can have many solutions. These are solution set. Okay. And each solution has some cost. I will explain what is this. Suppose take a problem called minimum spanning tree. We know about we know this. What is this problem? Given a graph, we need to find a spanning tree. So suppose this is a graph. Okay, this is particular instance. So this graph has a, okay, this is one spanning tree. Say it S1. This is a solution. Another solution will be like possible solutions are like this could be one possible solution. Yellow one. Okay, this is, suppose this is S2. So similarly, a instance can have many solutions. So these all solutions are, suppose this is a spanning tree, possible spanning tree, and our goal is to find a minimum spanning tree. So out of this C1, we will find a minimum. So basically, what happens generally we deals with minimum and maximum problems. So for instance, there can be many solutions, and out of these solutions, I have to pick. My goal is to find a minimum solutions or maximum solutions. So this is basically a definition of problem. Optimization problem definition. If you consider, then this is the definition. Okay. So since we know that this minimum spanning tree problem is actually belongs to a class P, so we can solve this problem in polynomial time for all instances, and we can get exact output. So there is no issue for MST problem, but there are many problems which falls in the class which does not belong to P. Okay, and we are saying that the problems are NP complete. For those problems, we have to design an approximation algorithm. So we need to define how we are going to, like, suppose given a problem belongs to NP complete. Okay, some either minimization problem or maximization problem. So I will talk about minimization problem now. So we'll try to design an algorithm for that problem. Suppose my algorithm is algorithm for problem P. This is the design algorithm for the problem P. Okay. And now suppose consider an instance now. Instance I of P. So we know that our algorithm will return some output on this instance. Okay. Now and suppose this is the minimization problem. Okay. So for this instance, we know that there will be some optimal solution. Okay. But we don't know how to compute this optimal solution. Okay. But we have designed algorithm which gives me some output. So since this problem is minimum problem, please tell like which inequality is correct.
Second one.
Second one, why?
Because by definition of optimality, it should be the minimum.
Yeah, true. Because since we are considering optimal, so optimal will always have the minimum value compared to the algorithm value, like what algorithm returned for that instance. So from here, what we see that algo for that instance by opt for that instance will always be greater than equal to 1. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, can you repeat what is algo?
algo is an algorithm. I'm just naming an algorithm as a algo, and this is just a name.
No,
What we
so algo of I is the output for
output
I.
returned by our algorithm.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm talking about minimization problem. Okay. So any output returned by our algorithm will always be greater than the optimal one, because since the minimization problem, we cannot go beyond optimal. We cannot go further down. So this is, if we draw, suppose this is the solution, then suppose this is an optimal value for I, then algo will always be above. Suppose this is the higher, low to high. So algo will always be the algo return some solution written by our algorithm will always be high, more than the optimal one. Agree? Huh? So this will hold. This is wrong. Now, if we consider maximum, the things will be reversed. So here okay. Agree?
Yes, sir.
So now till now we have seen a relation between algorithm and optimal. What is algorithm value and what is optimal value? So for minimization, we need such we need to establish this ratio. Okay. If we can consider this, if we want to find something like this ratio. So now I want to give you a way how we approach for this approximation algorithm problem. We know that for suppose we have some algorithm algo I. Okay, if we can establish an upper bound for this algorithm, okay, my algorithm is not that bad. Suppose I say it is bad, but suppose value is alpha. I'm saying less than alpha, and if I'm saying my opt value is something beta, we need to fix such bound. Okay. So what happens if we can find out this bound, and this is the intricating part of this what you say approximation algorithm, to find such bound. So if we have such bound, then we can say that algo I by opt I alpha by beta. Okay, true. Okay, so then we can say that okay, like this our algorithm is alpha by beta opti. Okay. Then we can say, okay, our algorithm will always return a solution which is disperse factor away from the optimal. True? Hello? So, is there any doubt like for these inequalities? Hello?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay. So now if I want to, I will give you an example. Suppose now this alpha by beta is, what is alpha by beta? Suppose for instance, my algorithm, no, my algorithm is something, but I can fix some bound like 4. Okay, my algorithm will, I'm giving an example here. My algorithm will always give me something, for this instance I'm talking about this instance, something 4. And opt is this was 2, greater than 2. Then we say this, okay, our algorithm is 2 factor for this instance particularly. So generally we have to establish this relation for all instances of the problem. So this alpha by beta is a factor. Sometimes it will be a constant factor. Sometimes it will be, it depends on the size of the function, like function input size. So if it is a constant, then we say this algorithm is a constant factor away from the optimal. So now I will give an example. Suppose I ensure you for my algorithm is a two factor algorithm I have designed for a problem P. Now if I give an instance I, suppose this instance I has an output 5, then this is optimal output I'm saying. Then what you can say about our algorithm design, the algorithm we have designed? We say that since our algorithm is two factor, so at max my output will be between 10, not more than 10. Okay, since I cannot get 5, but I ensure you that I will give you something 10, not more than 10, since I have designed a two factor algorithm. Okay, if it is a three factor, then I ensure you that I will give you a 15, I will not give you output more than 15. So this is basically a concept of factor. Okay, I will give you one example now. So you people have heard about this vertex cover problem. Hello? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me define it. If someone given a graph, okay, we need to find a set of vertex from V such that if we take any edge in E, one endpoint will be in V dash. So given a graph, this one, for example, okay. Now if I take this and this vertex, so take now, consider any edge now. Suppose this edge, if I say one endpoint is, suppose these two are in my V dash. No, I will like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my V dash is suppose 2 and 5. So take any edge, one of its endpoint is in the V dash. So this is one possible solution. Take now, if we consider these two, this one, then also these three also, I guess, these three also forms a vertex cover. So our goal is to find minimum number of cardinality in. So here in this graph, V dash is 2, because this 2 is a minimum. By taking one in one node, we cannot form a vertex cover. So here in this graph, it is 2. So our goal is to find minimum number of vertex such that all edges are covered. By all edges are covered, I mean if we take an edge, the one of its endpoints will be in the selected set. So you know this problem is in NP complete. So there is no scope to solve this problem unless we go to NP. So how we can design an algorithm for this? First, like I will ask you people to guess a algorithm which will work, like guess a greedy algorithm basically, which is very trivial. Please, is the definition clear? Problem definition?
Yes, sir.
So what will be a trivial greedy algorithm for this problem?
Sir, we can select the
Select,
vertex
yeah,
most number of edges.
yeah, true. Agree, na? This, what he is saying, like, we'll select a node, select a vertex, which has max degree. This is what you are saying, na?
Yes,
And,
sir.
and we'll keep repeating it. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So this is a good algorithm. This is a good greedy algorithm. Like, okay, first thing comes in our mind. Okay, find a node which we has maximum degree, and we'll keep repeating it, and till we get a good solution. So I ensure you, I can prove it also. This algorithm has suppose this, if I run this, suppose this is an algorithm. So I ensure you, suppose this algorithm has like, if for given instance, I'm talking about all instance. So I'm talking about the worst case now. This instance will give me log n factor, even bad than log n factor compared to optimal. So this, I'm saying if you run this algorithm, I will get a log n factor algorithm. So which is pretty bad. Like log n is something like depending on the input size. So if we have large inputs, then this algorithm will return a bad solution. I can construct an example for here. Suppose I take here 6 node, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this 6 node, now if I consider another graph, let me draw the graph. Okay. Okay. Similarly for this blue 6 node 6 edges. So I'm not drawing 6 edges from here and 6 from here. Okay. Now what he has suggested that we can take a graph which has maximum degree. True? So now in this graph, what we say, what is the optimal output? First tell me, like, what will be the optimal output from like, by looking into graph, what you feel the optimal, what is the optimal output? Suppose I'm considering it L, this the above one, and this one is R2. Just I'm for the namesake. I can explain why I have given this name also, but not now. So suppose now, like, what is the optimal output? Can anyone say?
6 L.
Like L, true?
Yeah.
But the algorithm what you have suggested will start with a node which has maximum degree. So one can see that, okay, the maximum degree is 6. Okay, then I can pick from here also and from this thing also. But there is no such like, worst scenario will be like, okay, I can pick from something from here. True. If I will pick this node, since it has also 6 degree, so I can pick this node. So I will pick this node. I will remove. Then I will pick this node. So the algorithm what you have suggested will pick this nodes like R6, R5, R4, then R3, then R2. You can verify it also. So we are in total picking more number of nodes. See, 3, 2, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, and 8 nodes. So this node is in, for this instance, I am picking 8 nodes instead of 6. Okay. So one can verify it that like I will give you. Suppose L has n nodes. Okay. So what I am doing here, I am putting n by 2 nodes here, n by 3 nodes here, n by 4 nodes here, n by n nodes here, and I am drawing edges. I am putting edges, like each node will have 2 edges from here. Okay. So this will eventually, if you calculate, it will this algorithm will return log n factor. Okay, which is not good because one can see the optimal is n very easily. So I will discuss another algorithm which gives me a 2 factor for vertex cover. Okay. So any suggestion from your side, like how now what kind of algorithm I can design which gives me a better factor? So one greedy algorithm failed. Try to think about another greedy algorithm which may work. Okay. Let me give you the algorithm. Now suppose what I will do, I will pick a edge. Okay. How many of you know? Let me before discussing like what is matching? Matching in a graph. You know the definition. Okay. So matching is like suppose given a graph. Suppose this is the graph. Okay. I'll take. So I can take. Matching is nothing but a set of edges basically. This will be a set of edges. So I will pick. Suppose these two edges. If I will pick. Okay. Then if I see the. Can I pick this? Like why? Like because since I have chosen these two edges, these two have one property like they don't share endpoints. So this is a matching in this graph. So a matching will have like matching edges will not share its endpoints. So I cannot pick these two edges and say it is a matching. No, because it shares an endpoint. So matching is something which we set of edges which does not share an edge. So does not share an endpoints. Okay. So matching is clear by definition. No? So can we find a maximal matching in a graph? Maximal. Can we find maximal matching in a graph? Any suggestion how to find a maximal matching?
Sir, we can start with any node and remove all the edges associated with that node and
No,
like
we have to pick one edge. Huh? Maximal matching is something which we need set of edges. We'll start with some edge. Better to say like that way. We'll start with some edge then.
okay, so we remove all the edges associated with its endpoints
Yeah, true.
and then continue in the remaining graph.
Yeah, correct. So this way we will get a maximal matching. I'm not talking about maximum matching. So we'll get a maximal matching. Okay. Okay. Now what I will do, I will find a maximal matching, which is pretty easy. Maximal matching is something where we cannot put any other edges. So if after finding maximal matching M, what we will do, I will suppose this is a maximum matching I got from the graph. Then what I will do, I will select all these nodes and I will say this is my vertex cover returned by my algorithm. I am taking like after finding maximal matching, I will say that okay, now what I will do, I will select all the nodes associated with the maximal matching. Okay, and I am saying this is the vertex cover. One can see why it is vertex cover. Because suppose it is not a vertex cover. That means what? So there is a edge which is not covered by these nodes, the set of nodes which I have picked. So this edge will be something here. So I can put this edge in our maximal matching. Okay. This by proof by contradiction, simple proof. Got it, na? Why it is maximum? Why it is vertex cover?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first thing we have ensured that okay, this is a vertex. This is a maximal matching. This is ensured. So what I'm saying, like, okay, our algorithm is giving me, suppose this maximum matching, I'm saying M. So I'm taking all the nodes. So there are 2 into M nodes are there. Okay. So I'm saying this is a vertex cover. But till now we have not compared it with the optimal solution. So we cannot ensure about the factor. Okay. Now tell me, I have explained you now that we need to find 2 types of inequalities. Okay, where it is? This kind of inequalities. Okay, algo with algo and optimal. Then only we can ensure that okay, this is some. Then we can say okay, it is 2 factor or 4 factor or something. So now we have one kind of inequality where we say that okay, algorithm is twice the maximal matching. So can you say something about optimal? Can we relate maximal matching and optimal solution? Optimal vertex cover solution? Can we? See, so we know that this maximal matching, suppose this is M. So so for this particular edge, we need at least one node in our vertex cover. Vertex cover definitions ensures us that okay, for each edge need to be covered, at least one node out of these 2 should be in our solution. So suppose I am saying this, for this edge, this node is a solution in a vertex cover, and for this node again I am saying for this edge again this thing. So this 4 nodes for this maximal matching, I need at least these 4 nodes in my solution of the vertex cover. Okay, maybe we need more, but this for this edge at least these 4 nodes are required. True. At least out of this, for each edge we need at least 1. So we can say that maximal matching, size of maximal matching is always less than equal to optimal vertex cover. Means like optimal vertex cover will always have more number of nodes if you compare to matching. Can you see this, like this thing, maximal matching and optimal?
Yes, sir.
But sir, those vertices are distinct. How can you guarantee?
No, I am saying, suppose this thing you are saying, true? Suppose there was an edge in, but I have not considered in my maximal matching. Okay, then also I need this guy I need, or at least this guy I need to cover this edge. I agree, but at least for this edge I need one of it. What are you saying? Like okay, there was an edge like this node.
Oh, okay, sir. But it's a maximal matching.
Yeah, it's a maximal matching. I'm saying there could be. I'm saying optimal can have more nodes also. Suppose this was a graph. Suppose in my maximal matching I got this thing. This 2 edge was considered in my maximal matching, and there was an edge, but I cannot take in my maximal matching. But I'm saying suppose I have picked this node in my solution, this node in our vertex covered, then it ensures this edge will be covered. But what about this edge? Okay, for this edge I may need this node. Who knows? So optimal will always be greater than maximal matching. True. So what we found that A is our algorithm returned will always be M, and sorry, optimal. So by these 2 inequalities, what we can say that this our algorithm
Why A of I is 2 times M?
AI is 2 times M. Oh, this one because say where it is. So no, this is my algorithm. I am saying my algorithm will find maximal matching first. Then from this maximal matching, I will take both endpoints corresponding to each matching, each edge in matching. I will say I'll pick these 2 nodes in my algorithm.
Sir, but we only need one node from that.
No. One is from there, but I am saying my this is algorithm designed by me. If I will pick one edge, one node, then I cannot ensure that this will have vertex cover. See, if I am picking one node from here, okay, good question. If I am picking this node, correct? Then suppose I pick one node from each side. Okay, so there could be an edge this way, this thing. But this edge does not go in maximal matching because one of its endpoint is already there in solution. Then who will cover this edge? We need to cover this edge also, in vertex cover. So that's why I need to pick this also. Otherwise, my solution return will not be a vertex cover. I guess it is clear now. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So first
Sir,
of all,
but
yeah.
like sometimes those vertices might not have any edge. Now you are like taking all the vertices, so it might be redundant.
No, sometimes I am saying it cannot be this edge, but I am designing algorithm for general case. Okay, for particular instance, there could be another solution, but I am saying I am talking about general case. Okay, general case, it may have this thing, no? So first thing I have to ensure that, okay, algorithm, whatever the nodes I am returning, whatever the algorithm, whatever the nodes returned by our algorithm, it is a vertex cover. First, I have to ensure that. For ensuring that, we need to take both the endpoints. If I miss one endpoint, then such cases will be there. So this ensures that, okay, our algorithm will always be twice the maximal matching, and which eventually it will be twice the optimal. So this is a very simple algorithm, but it gives me a two-factor algorithm. So you got an idea like how we are designing algorithms. See this, what happens in this approximation algorithm paradigm, the algorithms are very simple, but sometimes it is very difficult to analyze it because we need to find such inequalities, and we need to find such good inequalities. Suppose sometimes what happens, your algorithm runs very good, like it gives like something always good, gives a good output, like very close to optimal, but you don't know how to analyze it. Then what we do is like we analyze it very poorly. Suppose in this case, suppose I say here I have analyzed it. Suppose if I say, okay, my algorithm, I'm just giving an example, my algorithm will always be 10 times less than the maximum matching, just for an example I'm saying. Okay, then suppose I establish this inequality. So this will give me a 10 factor. It will give me a very bad 10 factor algorithm. This is my incapability of finding these inequalities. I need to find very strong inequalities so that I can ensure a good factor. What very trivial, what you say, inequalities are very simple to find out. Okay, these are very simple. Okay, suppose for minimization problem, opt will be always greater than equal to 1. Suppose I am considering integer problem, opt will always be greater than equal to 1. So this will not help us, such kind of inequalities. We need to find such good inequalities, which ensures us the tightness of this problem, practice of the, what you say, algorithm. It's very common practice, like in our, actually I do research in this area, so I know like eventually what happens, we have a good algorithm, we know this output is very good, output is correct, but we don't have any bounds to ensure our factor. So generally we work to find out such bounds. So these bounds are very important. Okay, the more tighter your bounds will be, the more you can analyze it. You can see in this algorithm approximation paper, if you see, the algorithms will be of 4 or 5 lines, but the analysis will be of 10 pages or 12 pages. But here, I just gave you a simple problem. So let me wind up for this thing. Let me wrap up what I have discussed. So I guess you people are clear now what is approximation algorithm. Here we generally aim for output which are very close to optimal. Okay, and because why we are aiming for optimal, close to optimal, because we know that we cannot get an optimal value in polynomial time for all instances. So generally we aim for something. Okay, let me So any doubt till now, please ask. Okay, otherwise preparing a presentation will be difficult because since most of the topics are from approximation part. And my goal is to at least make you people clear the definitions of approximation factor and all these things. Please go ahead if you have doubt. Okay, I think you don't have doubt. So let me move to another problem. So how many people have heard of, okay, set cover? Okay, I will go through how many people have heard about set cover? Let me define set cover for you. Suppose we are given universe of element E1, E2, En. These are n elements, okay, and we are given a family of sets S1, S2. I will explain what is S. Here S1 is a subset of U, okay, Si basically. These all are subset of U only. Suppose if I take an example, U is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then S could be 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, and 2, 3. This is what I mean, like element and the set of family of sets. Okay, our goal is to find minimum number of sets in S. This as such that all elements are covered. So our goal is to find a subset in S such that if we take union of all union over this thing, subset find, it covers all the elements of the U. Like it has all the elements. Suppose in this example, if I pick this one and this one, so this two ensures the covering of, because 1, 2, 3, 4, all elements are covered in these two sets. So we said, okay, these two are the set cover of this particular U. Okay, if we say this, if we pick these two, 1, 2, and 1, 3, so this will not be a set cover because 4 is missing. So in this problem is called set cover. Okay, so our goal here again is like vertex cover. Our goal is to find a minimum number of sets from the given set, such that it ensures it is a set cover. So any algorithm from your side, any greedy algorithm from your side, but anyone can ensure like a greedy algorithm for this one. I guess the problem is clear.
Yes, sir. Sir, can't this be reduced to vertex cover? Like we can consider the sets to be like a set of, yeah.
I will explain you one more thing. Like, see, vertex cover. We know that vertex cover is reduction works to generally reduction works only for showing the NP hardness. Okay, but the factors involved, it does not we cannot say by showing only a reduction, we cannot say about the factors of a problem. Suppose how many people have heard of independent set? Independent sets are the set of nodes which does not have they don't have any edges among them. So we know that independent set can be reduced to vertex cover. Okay, we can show a reduction. So, but it does not ensure the factors. We can have two factors for this thing. Then we cannot say, okay, then we'll have a two factor for this thing also. We cannot say. These things are not possible. Merely showing a reduction will not help you in ensuring a factor, because these two problems are difficult. Different if we consider their reduction is something like where we show from one problem we can go to another problem. Like I will give an example here, very simple example. Again, I will give the same example. So we know that these two are vertex cover. Okay, these two are vertex cover. We know. So what is independent set? Independent set are set of nodes which are not a vertex cover, which are not a vertex cover. So these three nodes are independent sets. So simple reduction graph, which have suppose graph, in this graph we have set of V dash which is a vertex covered, then other remaining vertices will be a independent set. So what we have designed in our algorithm, like the two-factor algorithm, what we have shown. So our optimal will give me four factor, two factors. So suppose my optimal will give me, my algorithm will give me out. There were two nodes. My algorithm will give me at least four, at most four nodes. Suppose my algorithm gave me this four node. Okay. So, but this four node, by this looking this four node, and if I say okay, now I will apply reduction. So if I will after taking this four node, if I will say reduction, then I will get only one node. Only one nodes are left. Only one node is left. So this is not any this only one node is left. So independent set. This is independent set, no doubt. But what I'm saying, like, it will not ensure the factor. Like, I got it. I think I got it. Like what I'm saying, trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Factor reduction, while reducing, we cannot ensure the factor, first of all. Huh? So for set cover problem, like, what is the trivial algorithm we can design? Given a set of elements and given a family of set. Okay. What can be a trivial algorithm for this?
Sir, always choose the largest set, like largest set of elements which hasn't been chosen yet.
Correct. Then we'll suppose we have chosen this set. Then we'll remove. Then we'll try to find out. We'll delete elements from with those elements which are here, and those elements are also present here. We'll remove those elements. Then I will try to find it again, which is the largest set. True.
Yes, sir.
So I say that this algorithm will also give me an log n factor. Though we have to prove it, how and why it is log n factor. I will explain it maybe tomorrow why it is log n factor. See, so we cannot do this algorithm will give me a log n factor first of all, okay? And for set cover, it's very, like, what do you say? We cannot design a better algorithm than this also. This is a bottleneck. Like, we cannot do this better than log n also. So for vertex cover, suppose we got two factor, na? One algorithm suggested by someone of you, like, pick a node which has maximum edges going out of it. So, and I saw that, okay, I gave you an example via which you got a two factor. It will give you a log n factor. Then I designed an algorithm which gave me a two factor. But for set cover, log n factor is the thing. Like, we cannot do better than log n factor. Okay. I will explain why this algorithm will give me log n factor. Maybe tomorrow I will explain why it is giving us log n factor. But what I am trying to say that you cannot do better than log n factor. Okay. So do you people have any class now? Or I can take 10 to 15 minutes, then I can explain this log n factor here itself.
Sir, we do not have any class, but not sure about seniors, like 2018 batch.
Okay. Okay, then maybe tomorrow I will explain why it is log n factor. One thing I have to maybe from here I will just give you a, like, the, what do you say, the idea. I like what you was like how we approach. Na? I told you first we try to find an algorithm very trivial. Then we find, okay, this is a log n factor. Okay, this is not good. Then we try to find something constant factor. Then we may achieve at 4 factor. Then we try to do better to maybe, but we cannot get to 1. That is for 2, because if 1, then it is we are getting optimal output. So our goal is to always come close to 1. This is the goal. But sometimes what happens, na? We cannot do better. Like, okay, this is the. So for set cover, what I'm saying, like, we cannot do better than log n. What happens if we do better than log n? Your questions may come, Bhaiya, I can design an algorithm which gives me better than log n. It's something better than, it's very small. Like I'm saying, very small, like factor. Epsilon is just greater than 0. I'm saying, like, what happens if you design this thing? Can you? I will say what happens, like, if you can design something which is something like this, log n minus epsilon factor, then you can solve this P equal to NP question. So based on this hypothesis, okay, unless this is the statement, unless P equal to NP, set cover, like we cannot solve set cover better than log n. So anyone who comes up with algorithm and so okay, I will design something log n minus epsilon, then we say that P equal to NP. Okay, so these things are called inapproximability. Like where we say that okay, we cannot you cannot design something better than this. So for vertex cover, we have shown two factor, na? So something like, can we do better than 2? So we know that we cannot go to 1. So till now it is open question, like can we do better than 2? So one argument is there like 1.36 factor. By this what I am saying, like we cannot do better than 1.36. So there is a window between 2 to 1.36. We cannot do better than 1.36. If you do better than 1.36, then we can solve P equal to NP. So this kind of results are called inapproximability result, where we ensure that okay, these problems cannot be approximated after this. Okay, beyond this we cannot approximate it. So this kind of results are called inapproximability results. This kind, how now question is how people ensure these things. So ensure like it comes in our mind. Okay, if we can ensure something like this 1.36, then so like P is not equal to NP. Kabhi nahi hoga, like P will not be NP. Then problem solved. No, this results are based on this assumption. These results are based on this assumption. Okay. So I will explain tomorrow set cover ka kaise hua log n. Please try to read this if set cover problem, and if you have doubt regarding this, like what is factor and all this, ask me tomorrow again. Okay. Any doubt? Then otherwise I will stop this class. Hello?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So please try to study this thing. Just to take you get materials for this thing. Sorry. Try to study this thing, then we can discuss tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow at 10 a.m. we'll meet and we'll continue our discussion on set cover and few definitions. Okay. Okay. And then